Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are on our second episode of Disability is Not Inability. Today I would like to address on the emotional battle that one goes through when you realize that you have a special kid or a special child. Uh, I remember once we understood that our child had autism. To be honest, we didn't like quite fully understood what it was all about and to what degree, because they vary in degrees. you know there are those that are mild, there are those that are moderate, and there are those that are severe. So we didn't know which category our son falls to. So we were like in shock first of all, and yes, we tried to figure out exactly what could have gone wrong and all that. So we tried to explore, like we went back through the pregnancy months, like from the first trimester to the last trimester, on what could have gone wrong and all that. And we looked for so many things to pinpoint at, and I think we were blaming almost everything, because I remember the first blame we put it into, like, we Swahilis have our own cultural beliefs that, I don't know, pregnant women, especially in first trimester or something, they should not go to the beach. Sea has a lot of creatures that we may not know of and all that. It's occupied with different things and all that. So yeah, because of that, I remember I used to love going to the sea, just to feel the breeze and to have fun, when I was pregnant. So we pinpointed it at that, and then we moved from that, because like so many people go to the beach and all that. Why didn't it happen to other people and all that? So we then again moved to fizzy drinks, because I remember when I was pregnant, I used to love to drink fizzy stuff. So, you know, my husband was like, maybe that could be the reason you are taking a lot of fizzy stuff. Maybe you are taking a lot of caffeine and all that. So literally, we were trying to see, like, exactly, what could have gone wrong, what I took that was not supposed to have been there, to have been taken and all that. And to be honest, in that pregnancy, I was like super careful, taking my pregnant cares and all those other things. But with food, I didn't think like they had any impact or anything like that. So you know I just ate what I felt like eating. you know so we tried to look for the reason, and honestly, we couldn't pinpoint it at, I mean, like, we could not just you know figure out exactly which type of food could have had such an effect and all that. So we were like, running sort of in a maze and all that, not knowing exactly what went wrong and all that. And as that was happening, really, it was really hard for me, especially, like, to think of a second baby and all that. I was like so scared, so scared. I didn't know what went wrong and all that. Like, we were trying to really figure out, really trying to know exactly what went wrong. And of course, yeah, usually one parent would be, easy to understand, and the other one would not want to believe, like their child is like that. Or maybe sometimes both parents would not want to accept that their child is like that and all that. So, like, we were really in a sort of a roller coaster, like really trying to know exactly what went wrong and all that. But we couldn't find any reason, and most importantly, like, we didn't know what was coming. We didn't know what to expect. Like, we were so confused and all that. But thank God for my mom and my grandma. Like, they really helped us deal with this. They're like, these are normal things that happen. I think they knew like we were so confused and all that, like we didn't they just tried to console us, and they took literally they took it upon themselves to take the child, for physiotherapies and all that, yeah. So my mom had seen that, and she knew exactly what needed to be done, and she was taking my son everywhere, like to be prayed for, and then she took him to physiotherapy. So as all this was happening, like we were still confused, and didn't really know exactly what to expect, and not until because like we didn't know exactly for sure at what month kids are supposed to sit, at what month they're supposed to crawl, at what month they're supposed to, to walk, to stand and walk, and all those things. We knew them theoretically, but having a child is quite different, and each child is different, because there are those that started walking at 9 months, there are those that delayed and all that. So not until I realized that the people that I gave birth with, or the people who gave birth with me almost at the same time, the kids were up and running, and mine was not, and all that. That's when it started clicking to me, like, oh my God, like, why isn't he walking, and all these things, like, is this autism that bad for him, and all that, but eventually he started walking, though late, I think when he was almost 2 years and all that. So for me, really, having a second baby was a no-no. Like, I really wanted to care for him, to give him my maximum attention. Another thing is that I didn't know what my second baby would be like, when you have a child with special needs, and you don't know as to why it happened and all that. You're still trying to figure out and all that. So it becomes a bit hard, to think about another kid and all that. So all this was happening, was going through, this roller coaster of emotion, and yeah. So it took me a while, to come to terms, like to really be up for another baby. And I remember this used to be like it became an issue later on with my husband, because like for him, he didn't understand as to why, you don't want to have another baby and all that. But honestly, it hit me the most, because I really wanted to be there wholly for him, and I just couldn't think of having another baby, and what impact the other baby will have on him. Like, you know, how will I be able to care for two kids at the same time and all that, And this one was so loving. Oh God, he was like so loving and very, every time you look at the other child, he used to smile and all that, like he had a whole battle ahead of him, and because of that, like it was really hard for me to really consider another baby. It took me a while. I think until when he was almost 3 months. I'm sorry, 3 years. That's when I was like, maybe now we can try. So anyways, guys, I brought this up because I know there are people who are really trying to understand as to why, they have such kids, they're blessed with such a child and all that. Honestly, you will not find the answers, all the answers, but what you have is you have that child, and you have to do what's right for that child. And some things just happen the way God wants them to happen, like honestly, until now, nobody knows as to why autism happens. Like, no one can pinpoint it a certain type of food or a certain type of event that happens when you're pregnant, in order for you, to avoid and not have an autistic child, or you know yeah, such things and all that. So God blesses people differently. Consider that as your blessing, and carry that child and do what's right for that child, because for me it was a really hard, some decisions I really had to make. I couldn't, come into terms with how to deal with such a special child, how to delegate myself to raising such a child. And then, with my work and all that, I think there are a lot of sacrifices that took place for me, from what I wanted to become to who I am right now, because of this blessing that God gave us. Yeah. So there are a lot of things, a lot of sacrifices that you'd have to take in order to be there for these children and all that. But the most important thing is, every sacrifice is worth it, very worth it. you know yeah. So you just have to be that parent, and you just have to love that child, and do what's best for that child, because you can imagine, like, right now you are alive, and you're caring for that child, but there will come a time when you will not even be there, probably. And so what will happen to that child? So it's upon us, it's upon you, to stand up and ensure that this child has whatever it takes in order to become independent, in order to be able to care for themselves. Even at least that you are probably gone, that he or she is capable of at least doing a few things for himself, and he can just be okay in this world. So you just have to do that for your child. I would advise, I would request, I would recommend any parent with a child with a special needs, to stand up firm, and do what's right for them, because yeah, you just have to do that, because these kids are so special in their own way, and they're loving and all that. I totally understand that, it varies with the stages that they're in and all that, but each of them, is special in their own way, and they have their soft spots and all that. You just have to know your child very well, and to know how to go about them. Yeah, there are a lot of help that is out there that can help you, accord them with the necessary things that they need in order for them to become independent, or to learn and become independent and all that. Or you ensure that you establish a system that will work for them and all that. The sky is the limit. You just have to stand up, you just have to do whatever it takes, go wherever, but just don't give up on this child. Just don't give up on this child. Hi guys, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.